You're on mute.
Oh, wonderful, right? Thank you, everyone, and welcome to Fried Live. I have my colleagues here, Melissa and Amy. Now, can you all see me, and I can see you?
Well, you can see you.
Yes, and I'm sure you can't see me because once again, it froze.
Yeah, and Miss Melissa, I think her camera is all well, it's all for my end, but hey, we're gonna
Oh
roll
no.
on. I know, I know we have some participants here, Miss Brittany, and Samantha. Microsoft has done something new. There you go. You came in now. Microsoft
Turned
has
it
done
off and
something
on.
new, and we're in this new webinar feature. And when I got ready to create the webinar, I was like, what is this? What is going on? And that's the way technology works. We wanted to what? Constantly and consistently improve where we can use it, right?
Yes, but it does it at times when we're about to get on.
Well, we don't need it to happen then, right? Wonderful. Well, you all have joined us for the Microsoft portion of Fried Live. So just know that we have two different types of Fried Live. The general aspect, because as Fried Tech, we are a company that is more than just Microsoft. We work with other partners like Google, Adobe, Newzella, Text Help. We kind of reach out, to everyone because we know that tech is not just in one platform, one environment. But in this environment today, we will only be touching on Microsoft tools, literacy and learning as it deals with Microsoft tools. And so I'm trying to get everything set up for you and ready to go. And I believe we're ready to go. So my screen can be shared, and then this new platform is taking us a while to get used to it, but it is saying that my screen is being shared. And so you would see here Tech Literacy and Microsoft. So if you're ready to dive in, you can use the chat. The chat window is available there for you. And so someone already posted, hey, I love Fig Jam. Well, if you love Fig Jam, guess what? That course is free for you to take, free from Fried Tech, for you to go and continue to learn about Fig Jam and to share the joy of Fig Jam with your colleagues. She said, I know, just
Oh, yes,
wonderful.
I was
Thank
gonna
you.
say that. That's awesome, Brittany.
Wonderful, wonderful. So here we are. We are from Fried Tech, your Microsoft crew. I am Steven Stone. You can follow me on Twitter at MyGooseChef. We are doing a better job of posting videos, latest things you want to know about tools that we are working with. I do have a number of years in education. We're all board certified educators, so we're just not just coming to you as this fried tech, or some people say tech company, whereby we don't have any formal education, training, and professional development, or going to take tests to become board certified. So we have stretched our game, and all of us who are connected with you today, we are Microsoft certified educators. That was another test we had to take. So, and we're all Microsoft innovative educator experts. How about that? High five, high five, high five. It's going everywhere, right? So we even have our pins that we will hopefully be wearing one day to show that that's who we are. And so I don't want to prolong the time, but we want to show you what Microsoft has for you. But I want my colleagues to introduce themselves. We'll save Melissa for last because Melissa, she's joined our group. She's fairly new to the group, but she's not new to
I'm
Microsoft.
the newbie on the group, the new kid on the block.
Go ahead, Amy. Are you unfroze now? You're not froze
I
anymore?
think so.
There you
Yep,
go.
she's
There you go,
good.
Amy.
Yep.
You're there.
I feel like I need to scoot back though. It like, makes me look a little bit too close to the screen with this view. My name's Amy Store. I am a lead learning guide at Fried Technology, and I work alongside these wonderful human beings here today, as well as a few others. And yeah, excited to share with you some of our favorite Microsoft tools that enhance and elevate literacy and learning in the classroom.
Awesome. Melissa, it's on
Okay,
you
I'm
now.
Melissa Summerford. Everybody, nice to meet you. A little bit about me. I spent 16 years in my district as an elementary teacher and a little bit of tech coaching and this and that. I like to try different things. So I'm excited to be here learning and working with Microsoft. I mean, I've always used it. I started off in my classroom using PowerPoint. So it's just, coming back, just like riding a bike again. So I'm excited to share Flip with you guys today.
And Melissa was kind of afraid to kind of take this journey, but like she said, hey, we didn't. She thought she got off the bike to move on, but no, you're on this bike to stay, and we're just gonna add on to your toolkit because all of us know not just one tool. But we know
Mhm.
multiple tools because we're working with districts who are not only just Microsoft districts, but Google districts. They have Adobe, they have Newsella, they have you name it, they have it. Wakelet, and we do it all. So you can always reach out to us if you want a trainer to train on something special at your campus, your school conference, whatever it is, we can come. Just reach out to us at sales@fried.tech, sales@fried.tech, and we can talk to you about those offerings. Well, ladies, if you're ready to jump in, I'm ready to jump in and let them know who we are all together. We are from Fried Tech, so you can follow us on our socials. I kind of like this graphic, kind of just like makes me feel like rugratsy, if I can say
Oh,
that.
yes, I remember that show.
The
It
Rugrats,
was.
they were all about in the color. So I kind of thought, hey, let me just bring in the color to this presentation since we'll be talking about a lot of different tools. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that page. No, you closed down. Okay. And since we're bringing this to you on behalf of Microsoft, Fry leading it, you can follow Microsoft social channels. So if you have yet to join the social channels, this is where you want to be. This is where you want to live. We're not going to say that they post everything new there or what's coming up, but you can always stay in the loop because we just left out a session last week and this week where they showed us some new stuff that hasn't really even hit the market yet. And so, as we're going through the day, hopefully, we will show you some new things when it comes to with literacy and learning and how it has improved along the way as well. So, hopefully, you'll learn some things. Say, oh, I didn't know Microsoft can do that. So, hopefully, you'll hang in, stick with us for this next 45 minutes or so, and we can get you right into it. But look at all the ways where you can stay in touch with Microsoft. So any social platform that you're on, Microsoft Education is there for you. Ladies, are y'all ready to jump in?
Where I'm ready.
I'm ready. All right. So when we talk about literacy and learning, what will we be exploring today? Here is our learning agenda. And we know that starting off with literacy, it will also help in our learning. So at first I had learning and literacy first, but I said, no, let's kind of change that around. If you don't know how to read, then it's a problem. Not only read, but what? Comprehend. So
Mhm.
it's a problem. And so Microsoft has saw fit that in each one of the things we're going to talk about today is really focusing on literacy. Some literacy component is somewhere in there, right? And then collaboration is touching on those. We say 21st century skills, but I think there's another name for it. Amy, you helped me out with this a couple of months ago, and I didn't forgot. I know the name, but when you're in a presentation, your mind just goes blank.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think it's the 21st century was like
That was old.
years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was years ago. Now they call it another name, but it's the same
It's the
thing,
same
right?
thing.
Yeah.
It's the
I think
same
it's
thing.
universal for just, get caught up with the times.
And it just tells me how back in the times that I am, right?
Yeah, back in my days. Are we gonna start saying back in my days?
Awesome. So we're going to touch on literacy and fluency because we know that's a big deal. Um, and immersive reader and transcribe, flip and stream, and the math solver app and practice along the way with our math solver. So if you can buckle up your seats, hopefully you don't know about some of these things. And let me go in the chat. Let's see if you're not driving and you're in a safe place. which are one of these tools that we have listed here that you know nothing about? And I know I have some that are not listed because I didn't want to just put that out there, but I know it's about 5 or 6 tools that are listed that you know nothing about. Okay, can you repeat it? So literacy and fluency, I'm going to put this out here. Reading progress, reading coach. So do you know if you don't know anything about reading progress, reading coach, when it has to do with literacy and fluency, that's what we will be talking about. Immersive reader, transcribe. We will show you something with flip and stream as it had to do with learning and literacy, and also the math solver app as it has to do with learning and literacy, believe it or not. Okay, wanted to explore reading fluency and progress. Okay, and coach is in there. We'll show you what that is. Experience with flip and stream. Okay. All right. Well, we have our comments in. So as we move forward, I guess I'm up first, right? When it comes with reading progress and reading coach. So we have a description there. I'm not going to read it to you because I'm not going to bore you with that, but we will dive in to show you what these tools are and how they can be accessed. Now, I would say that, and this is where it is, because uh, reading coach, reading fluency is only available with Microsoft Teams. So if you're not using Microsoft Teams, you won't be able to use reading fluency and reading coach. And the reason being is in Microsoft Teams is not just this platform where you chat, where you can stay connected with one another, but it has a classroom feature to it. If you're very similar, I would say it's very similar to maybe an LMS, Schoology, Canvas, or even Google Classroom. If you're familiar with Blackboard, I would say Microsoft Teams comes in close relation to that, where it has class teams that you can build. And so, with that in mind, I'm going to go to a class team that I have created and show you where this is. So, let me just go to my general channel. So when you log into Teams, if your school allow you to use Teams for whatever reason, or if they don't, and you do have access to Microsoft 365 and the tools, this may be a case if y'all are not using an LMS, or this may be a case why you may say, let us interact with Teams. I guess I want to say, are y'all using Teams, or do you have access to Teams? And you can let me know that in the chat. But you will see here on the home page, I have all of my teams kind of like in a mix, in a tile. Some are class teams, some are just for communication and connection. Some are staff teams because you can make staff teams where you communicate with your staff. But my class team that I have for this demo here is my 4 C's of Microsoft Teams. And they've changed the look of it on the left side, where this is like recently new for the fall of 2022. So they've changed it a little bit, but for the educator, the teacher side to go on to look at this. But where is reading progress? Where is reading coach? So we would click on assignments because it's not right off. And when you click on assignments, you go down and you create an assignment. Now, Amy Store is one of those that can really speak to this. She really can, and I can speak to it as well. Melissa have seen it, but we're gonna walk through this now. I can put in a title. I'm just gonna put a test reading progress and reading coach. I found out that if you do not have a title, it will not create for you. It will not save for you. So you don't really have to put instructions or anything like that. But make sure you have a title. Okay. And then when I click on attach, Here is reading progress here. Okay. So I can click on reading progress, and then I can import either a Word or a PDF that I've already have created. But how about this? I don't know if y'all like when I was in the classroom, I was real big at this. I would go find the release test that I'm able to use to kind of get my students kind of square with this, or they had like material and different things that you can buy. Um, that you can help with your students with their reading fluency and different things. So you can scan that as a PDF, maybe make it as a Word document, and then upload it into this system. You can do that, import, you can do that, or you can browse the sample library. If you don't have that option, you may have to make a class team. And then if you don't have it, you can send us an email. I would say send it to Amy s@fried.tech. Oh no, but you can send it to Steven at fried.tech with Steven with the V at fried.tech, and then we can walk through it with you. I will give you that chance. I will get connected with you, walk through it with you, and see your screen, and then we can help you with that because it may be where your teams may not be updated as mine is. So don't fret. It should be there by now because this has been out what Amy 2 years, 2 3 years now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, maybe something like that. I know it was in beta for a little bit, but yeah, it's been a couple of years, I think.
Okay, so here I said let me go and get some sample. Would the district block it? No, they can't really block it. But like I said, we can connect tomorrow. I would say if you have time, because today we're running straight out of here after this. So connect with me, and we'll look at it. But you can see right here they have a bank. And I love banks not going and recreating the wheel. And I was like, at that time teaching fluency, I was more like on third grade. So I'm going to select third grade. You can preview what it is. You can also see the Lexile level. Wow.
Awesome.
The word count, the genre. Okay, you can see all that straight off. The history of Juneteenth. Let's select that. And we're going to click select. Now we're not done because it opens up another window for us to go and say you have some options that you can set that you can choose. And so the number of attempts you would like them to do. So if they didn't do so well and you want them to practice at least one time, you will set it like, let's give them two. Or you can set it unlimited. And that just continuous practice where they're challenging themselves to get better. Okay. Is there a time limit? Now we know for fluency as educators there is a time limit. I think we what gave them 2 to 3 minutes. I think it was 2 minutes or something like that, or maybe 3 minutes when you're doing your fluency. I hadn't done it in a long time, but I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes where we had to set the timer there. So that's already there for you, and it says opt in time limit, okay, whatever. Uh, and then pronunciation. So what it's going to do is going to listen to them as they read. So if they are pronouncing the words accurately, you can set that. Do you want it sensitive, less sensitive, default, the sensitivity? Let's just leave it at the default, because we don't want to really just get to our kids where they have to just sound out every word as they're reading because it's all about fluency. Here it is. They can do reading coach. And if I edit this, it pretty much asks me what words do I want them to do, what voice after one, try at the beginning, more support, more direct. If they need to hear a word stretched out, spelled out, this almost looks like a little, how I want to say it, a light immersive reader, where you can sound it out. They can play the word. Hopefully, I share my screen, my sound, but if not, it's okay. But it will play the sound. They can break the word into syllables. If they need a picture help, it will give them pictures. So this can help readers in every way. Require video. What does require video mean? Well, it looks at their posture, it looks at them for intonation, and it records their face. So, I mean, not only is it recording their audio, it's recording their video, and then you as a teacher can really see, is this Johnny? By voice, you should know it, right? But how is Johnny positioned? Is he reading the screen? Is he looking at? Is he paying attention? Is he distracted? Or whatever the case may be, you can get there. So let's click next. Let's say we did all of our settings. We can go from a student view. So if you like what I do here, before I click next, I'm gonna click on student view. And yes, well, I only have one camera. Let me just deny it for right now, but you kind of get the picture. We have access to your camera. Okay. It wants access to my camera. Let's go ahead and close it. Yes. And we're gonna, well, why did I do that? That wasn't right, right? Real quick, let me go back and redo it. So you can see how easy this is. I'm just gonna pick this for right now. Select, we leave that all there, 2 attempts, 2 minutes. Because you can kind of see how I'm going. I'm going to click student view here. Yeah, there it is. We, oh, I'm gonna because I said no at first. So we can click start and then we can walk through it as a student and then we can go from there because I told it no on my camera because I'm using my camera now. So you can see, but click next and it's going to create this. Now, here's my assignment and I'm going to click assign. Now, every student, when they go into their assignment portal, they're going to see this is due. And you can also say when is due. And I did say tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So reading coach is tied in and reading fluency is tied in. Uh, Everything you have set. And then you as a teacher, when they turn this assignment in, you just go look at it, you grade it, you check it, you can return it, you can do whatever you need to do to help the student or redo it, whatever the case may be, you can help the student along the way. And I would say with reading progress, reading coach, dive into it, learn it, play with it, practice it. The only way you're going to learn any tool is by using it. Amy, you would like to add anything on to that?
Yeah, so the reading coach, that's a newer feature, and what it does is it will, based on how the student does within that assignment, the words missed, etc., it will use that data to then create a word bank, similar words that they had missed, to give them additional practice with those particular skills to help them improve along the way. So it's pretty cool. And I thinking back to when I was an instructional coach and I would support teachers who were doing fluency assessments, and we would have a window the district would give us to complete those assessments. And it was a time crunch for a lot of us because you were
Yes.
doing that on top of the teaching. And it took time because you had, of course, you want to sit with the child and listen to them. That's the whole part of the whole important part of fluency, is getting to hear the student. What this does is allows you to give them a chance to do it independently, but you can still go back and review the video, and it does a really good job of marking where a student misses. I think it's such a time saver for teachers, and if you have access to it, it's well worth your time to look at it for sure.
And it brings back to my mind that when the teachers are checking those of fluency probes, when you're checking it through Teams, let's say the kid did pronounce the word correctly, but the system marked it wrong or whatever the case may be. You as a teacher, now we'll grade it for you. Then you as a teacher can go in and correct and adjust, and
Mhm.
I mean it's sweet. It's sweet. You want more help on that? Want to dive more into that? Hey, bring us to your district and we'll be more than happy to go on to that. But if you don't have it, please send me an email, Miss Brittany, and we will help you out with that. Our next person up will be talking about immersive reader, and then I'll follow up with transcribe. And that's
All
Miss
right.
Amy.
Fingers crossed. Nothing goes wrong when I share my screen. Let's see. Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about Immersive Reader. Three different ways that you can actually find it and use it. Can you see my screen now? Are we good?
Yes, ma'am. We're good.
Sweet. Okay. So Immersive Reader is a free readability tool that's built into lots of Microsoft tools. You can also find it in their partners like Wonderopolis, Buncee, Pear Deck, and you can also find it in the Microsoft Edge browser, which is the browser that I'm using today to demo this for you. All right, so first I'm going to jump into a Word document. So what Immersive Reader does is it translates websites, documents, etc. in over 70 languages, which is so powerful. It improves fluency because it makes the web, it adapts the web to make it easier for you to read and to go through content. It removes distractions for you as well. And it also will aid you in comprehension with things like the picture dictionary. So if you can see here, I'm in a Word document. And if you go to view, on this ribbon here, and I feel like that ribbon has changed. It looks different to me, right? I
Everything's
think it's
changing.
changed. I know this is not something I remember. But if you go to the View tab, you will see Immersive Reader, and you'll find this in places like OneNote and other Microsoft tools as well. Whenever I click on Immersive Reader, once again in the View tab, it's gonna what looks like pop open a new tab. It's the same tab, it's just making the text more readable. So I don't know if I shared sound. We're about to find out. You can click the play button down here, and you also have your voice settings. You can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can choose male or female, and then click play. You hear that?
No, that's okay. We can.
That's okay. Imagine it said Fried Tech is an education. Anyway, it reads it. You can see it highlights the words as it's going. And then you have these menus up here as well. Let me move this over so I can get to it. There we go. All right, so when you click on what I call the double A, this is this part right here. These are text preferences. You can make the text a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. It's defaulted to be where the spacing is increased, but you can also decrease the spacing. They give you 3 fonts to choose from, and they were very intentional in the fonts that they chose because these are fonts that are perfect for any learner, adults, young child, you name it, all ages that has any sort of reading difficulties. These fonts are great for that. Even Comic Sans, which sometimes gets a bad rap, but it actually is one of those better fonts out there for students with reading difficulties. If you've ever worked with students who require colored overlays, I have worked with students in the past, and it's built into here, into this system. You can actually add in a colored overlay just like that. And then the middle menu up here is grammar options. You can turn on your syllables, parts of speech. You can even change the colors here. If you already use specific colors in your classroom, you can change up those colors as well. And you can even show the labels. The final menu here is reading preferences. You can turn on what's called line focus, and it will just highlight the line that it's reading. As it goes through, that line will move. You can always come back here to reading preferences and turn that off. Picture dictionary is defaulted to be turned on. This is very, very powerful, especially for our ELLs, our English language learners. They can come, let's see if I can find a word. Let's do, what about technology? If there's some clip art in their library, you will see the clip art here. You can have the word read aloud by clicking the audio button, and it will read that word for you. But my favorite part of Immersive Reader by far is this translation piece. Once again, over 70 languages, and they continue to add more and more all the time based on feedback. But you can come here and you can choose a different language. So I'm going to go with Spanish, and you can do it by word or document. Once I click by document, the entire page is going to translate. And not only is are the words translated, it's going to read it in that language as well. And it's not robotic, in my opinion. It sounds very natural. So it's such a great tool for
Right,
not just
right. They've
students, for
really worked on it.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, they really worked on it.
Now, I'm not going to show this to you again, but I'm going to show you where you can find it again. So we're in Microsoft Word right now. Once again, view Immersive Reader. If you go to one of their partners like Wonderopolis, one of my favorite websites, my team knows how much I love this website, and you go to an article that, like maybe this one, what makes popcorn pop? That's what I had for lunch today. Let's find out. When you click on an article, you'll see the immersive reader icon. So anywhere that you see, I'm trying to zoom in on here. Let's see if it'll let me do it. There it goes. Anytime that you see this immersive reader icon right here, anywhere. So if it's in Pear Deck, like I said, Bunsey, Wonderopolis, that means Immersive Reader is built in, and it does the same thing that I just showed you earlier. You click it, it will look like it transforms the website, but it's actually staying in that same tab. It's just making it more readable, and you'll see those same menu options up here as well. Now, Immersive Reader is also built into the Microsoft Edge browser. So when you're visiting various websites like fried.tech, and you come up here to the box where you type in your URL, you will see some options here. More often than not, you're going to see this one, which is the Read Aloud tool, which is a part of Immersive Reader. But sometimes you're going to see the actual Immersive Reader icon. So if I click this in this area right here, if I click on that, it's going to transform that page, make it more readable. It's going to give you those same menu options in the Edge browser. It looks a little different, but they do the exact same thing. But that's Immersive Reader. It's one of my favorite things to share. Check it out. Like I said, it's built into most Microsoft tools, and you can also find it on the Microsoft Edge browser and within their partners as well. And next up is Stephen Stone, who's going to show you Transcribe. Am I frozen again? No, I'm not. All right, well, I can show you Transcribe just in case. Oh, maybe he's sharing. There we
Oh,
go.
I'm muted. Okay.
Oh.
And I was just talking like a rookie move, a rookie move. Um, but we will see here, Immersive Reader, as Amy said, is it's in many other different programs that if you see that icon, you can use that. But one that is new is Transcribe. It is found in Microsoft Word and OneNote now. So if you're a OneNote user, your students can be in class and transcribe right away whatever is being said. And transcribed is so smart to where it will pick up on who's speaking. So it picks up on tones, voices. If it's multiple people speaking, it will say speaker one, speaker two, speaker three. And then as the transcription is made, you can change speaker one, speaker two, speaker three. So let me show you where that is if you're not familiar with it. So in Microsoft Word, I am in Word Online. They haven't brought it yet to Microsoft Word desktop app, but I am in Word Online, and right underneath Dictate, you will see Transcribe. And so Transcribe would open up, a window will pop up from the right, and you can upload audio from either a video that you've made or MP3 that you've made, which is an audio clip itself. But if you have a video, it will pull the audio from it. And then you can use it to directly transcribe. If you had a conversation that is in an audio file, it can pull it as well. Or you can simply start recording as I am doing now. And Melissa, how was your day?
My day has been awesome. Thank you for asking.
Oh, well, and I see Miss Brittany, she has my SpongeBob. I do love SpongeBob with crying, but I see you have on the sparkles and you always have a smile on your face, which give us glitter, right? Okay, so I'm going to stop there recording. Let's just say for now it's very short, but depending on how long your recording is, that's what it will take. That little length of time to transcode to pull the audio and what it's looking for. So you can see it didn't pick up Melissa's voice. If we were talking in face to face, it would have picked it up. But you can see right off it pushed the transcribe very quickly. I'm going to go down here to the bottom and I'm gonna do with speakers and timestamp. Okay. Before I brought it over, I could have actually edited the speaker and said this was Steven. I could have did my checkbox and click check, and then everywhere where it saw speaker one, it changed it as speaker one. But you see now you have this transcript over here and you can also edit it based on the recording. It also put the recording in your file. So if you wanted to share this with your principal after a parent meeting, if you wanted to share it with the parent after the meeting, or an IEP meeting, a LEP meeting, 504 meeting, an ARD, right? Because I was in the ARDs where you record all these things, and then it had to be uploaded in different things in different places for the counselor who was working with that ARD. So there you go, right there, and it's available. I went to the home ribbon. It is there in Word, and it's also in OneNote. So if I were to go to OneNote, and I'm not going to go through the process all over again, but I'm going to open up this OneNote here online, and I can simply click on Insert, and I know it's there for the desktop. If it's not here online, it is there for the desktop version. So in my desktop version, transcribe is there already, because I forgot, I'm on the first release of all tools, so I do see them as they come out before it hits general population, general public. But if you click on insert, you will have a drop down right here for audio. But in my OneNote desktop app, it is already there for me, and it's opening right now. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long to open, and I can show you. Yeah, this is all about SEL, and you can see right here. Well, now they put it on the home tab. They moved it. Here's transcribe right here. So I can transcribe, or I can record some audio right there in my OneNote notebook. So you can see that, right? So knowing that it's available, I didn't tell you any fib. I didn't lie to you. It is there. Okay. So go ahead and check that out in Word and OneNote. So we're just giving you all some teasers today that you probably want to take back to your staff and to use with your colleagues. Miss Melissa is all yours.
All right, let's get this going. Let me just move some
Yeah,
things out of the way here. And let's talk about one of my favorite things to do with students. Let's see, is it coming in? It says I'm sharing my screen. Everybody see it? Well, I hope you see it. So, this is my math
Yes.
classroom. Okay, perfect. Okay. So, if you haven't tried Flip, I highly encourage you to try it. It is a great video and audio sharing tool for your students. You'll be able to really hear their learning, and like the same with reading coach, like you can save up some time because you can have students do assignments within the Flip environment. So it's formerly known as Flipgrid. So you might have heard of that. They've gone through a change and they've upgraded a lot of features. And one of them was, I mean, they changed the logo. So when you're looking, you're going to see this little squiggle. What do you call him, Amy? This little squiggle, little, I don't know what you call him. A little smiley face, a bubble smiling face. So it's now known as Flip. So just know that when you are working with it. But one of the things you could do is you can create like environments where you can post topics. You can come up with topics on your own, but I'm also going to show you where you can get some already made topics that's going to save you time. So let's look at this one. This is my math classroom because, like I said, I was an elementary math teacher. You're going to see some topics that already come in. It's going to give you like three to start with. So it's nice. It gives you a starting place. Now, like Amy said earlier, the immersive reader is also built in Flip. So students have that option to have it read aloud to them. So all the same tools that Amy talked to you about that you're going to see in Word, you're also going to see these in Flip. Look, you've got the reading preferences, the text, the font. It's all the same thing. So students be able to recognize where they can use this throughout their learning. Now, let me show you this. One of my favorite things about, well, there's a lot of favorite things, but let me show you this, okay? I told you earlier, you don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to topics. If you go to your little profile picture, once you get logged into Flip, you can log in with Microsoft or Google or an email. You choose how you're going to log in, start an account. But once you log in, you're going to have your preference up here, your picture or whatever you put for your avatar. Well, I want you to check out the Discovery Library. This is amazing. Once I click into the Discovery Library, it's going to pull up all types of things where I don't have to start from scratch. Look, we're going to see featured items, popular topics. If I scroll down, this is Wonder of the Day. These can all be topics that you can assign to your classroom. If I scroll even down further, look, I can browse subjects, trending topics. So if I know something that I'm about to teach my students, I can come here and look. This is going to complement my curriculum, my district curriculum, and things that I'm teaching my students already. I'm going to go down even more because this is my favorite part here. Now, look, 47,075 topics and discovery. Check this out. I was a math teacher. Like I said, math and science. I mean, I know you heard it, but I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to scroll down to math here, select math. Okay, what kind of community? What are my ages of my students? Well, mine were elementary between 5 and 10. Select that. Now I can be more specific. Maybe I'm looking for addition, subtraction, multiplication, or I can just keep it general. But if you look here, well, let's go ahead and do addition. Okay, my students were working on the number line or just place value. But look, it's going to start pulling up. Look, splat. Splat is a neat game. I've used it before. This is going to tell me 26 minutes of engagement and 11 people have used it. So if I click on that, it's going to open up that topic for me. Let's check it out. Look, the description is in there. How to use this, tips on how to use the topic. Look, allow students to practice abstract thinking and visualization right there. If I like it, I can press this button here. I could share this with colleagues or add to my, let's add to my classroom. Look, here are my options. Add to your group, which is that math classroom. Create a new group or save for later. Like you can always go through here like, I like that one, save, save, save. So you can make your own collection of things that you're saving. But I'm going to add to my group. Look, it's telling me where do you want to add? Well, I'm going to select math classroom. And look, save to my group. And just like that, I have an assignment where my kids can add videos on how they solved it. They can add audio. They can add what they need. Let me make sure. I'm going to go back to home because I want to show you that it added it. Here's my math class. Look, there it is. Once I go into it, the topic, look at this. It's going to have everything I need. But you know what? I can go in and I can control some of these things. I can edit it. Maybe I want to put a video in there of explaining how to use Splat and then trying it with my students. Look at this. See, here I can change this up. I can add, I could take this off. Maybe I don't need this image. I'm going to delete that. See, I can change it up myself. I can import image, do a video. Okay, let me show you this part. Well, I'm going to do something. I'm going to try something right now. Turn my camera off here, and I'm going to turn my record video on here. Let's see if I come through because I know I can't use both. All right, so here we go. Once it comes in, look, I have access to the video recording. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to come in. Last time it worked. Ugh! Okay, it's not going to work this time. But like I said, you have access to this. Students have access. I can make my video. Here it comes, but you're not going to see me because I'm in the dark here. But look, I can use all of these different kinds of lenses. There's so many lenses where students can be creative. Look at these right here. Oh, add like a frost background. Like just imagine what students, how creative they can be. This is really going to bring out their creativity. They're going to have fun. They're going to want to tell you everything that's on their mind because they have the power. When my students use this in the classroom, they were like, welcome to my YouTube video. Please follow. Like they saw it as they were famous and they were producing for an audience because that's exactly what they're doing. They are producing for an audience. And what I mean by that is students are producing for their fellow students. You can change that if you don't want others to see. You can go into the settings, but I wanted my students to produce for an audience because when they did, that's where their creativity came out, critical thinking, because they knew their peers were going to see their video and add questions, comments. I had an autistic student in my classroom and he was so shy when it came. He was quiet. When we had group discussions, nada, nothing. He didn't want to talk. But when it came to applications like Flip, he like came out of his shell. Like he would go through other students and answer questions and provoke thinking because he would ask the other students question on their video. He would say, that is interesting. Can you tell me more? I was like, oh my, look at this boy. Like he is helping me moderate this Flip. And he would ask questions to the other students. And it was amazing because he got the discussion going. Like he was my teacher, my little aide on the side. So it was amazing. So try out Flip. Go play with the camera. I'm gonna try it one more time. It's not gonna work. Okay. It's because I already did the first camera. But you know what I mean? You can't have multiple cameras. But try out Flip. Try out the Discovery Library and also check out Grid Pals. Because if you didn't know about this, you need to connect with other teachers outside your area, outside your classroom, not just the teacher down the hall. In Grid Pals, you can find and make connections with teachers all over the world. I've done this before and it is amazing. I connected with the teacher in India and we shared. We didn't use Flip at the time. I didn't know this wonderful feature, and maybe back in my day it wasn't available, but I would have because you can get a classroom, connect with another teacher in another area, bring your students in together, and imagine the conversations they will have. It's
And
amazing. So check
don't we
out
have a
that.
session with something like that?
Yes, we do. So if
What
you're
is
bored,
that
let me
session
tell you.
called?
It's called Flip the Learning with Flip.
Flip the
So
learning.
if you're
Good.
interested in that, you need to check it out. So
Awesome.
that's my spiel.
Awesome. And Melissa, thank you. And Melissa, she knows everything about Flip and Flip Pals, Grid. I say Flip Pals, Grid Pals, Discovery. Amy, don't you have like an I Spy or some
I
session,
Oh,
distance
she
learning?
does.
hold please while I turn my camera off. Y'all, I don't know what's going on. You can still hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
we can
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
you.
Okay, I have a session called I'm an International Super Spy that's all about the connected classroom. And we talk about how you can use Flip to get connected for absolutely free, among some other things. It's one of my favorite sessions to present. So, yeah, it's a good one.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So hey, call for that session. Now I want to show you this. We're talking about stream. So we know we have about 9 minutes left, and stream is very closely related now to flip. That's why we put flip first, because if you get familiar with flip or you get familiar with stream, you can definitely cross over to the both of them and use them as different things. But what stream allows you to do is also use it as a I don't have to create a topic. I don't have to invite kids in. But what you can do is create a 15-minute screen capture if you wanted to, no more than 15 minutes, using Microsoft Stream. And you may ask, Stephen, that is new. I never heard of that. Where is that found? So if you want like a screen capturing tool, or you just want to record your face to say a welcome message to your parents, or you want to use this for your substitute to give instructions because you're going to be out and you want your students to see your face, you can also use this in distance learning, in blended learning, where they're in their tech tech studios or stations that some of us call them. You can duplicate yourself. I mean, the sky is the limit, and I just get excited about it because this is new here when it comes to Microsoft Stream. They have updated it. They placed it in Office 365. And if you say, well, Steven, where it is, I'm just going to say record my screen only because it's once you try my camera, and I'm using my camera now. But you say, where is it? If you click in the upper left hand corner in your apps grid, and if you don't see stream listed there, you can go to all of your Microsoft 365 apps. Let's see, go here and all apps. And then it would drop down and you should see Microsoft Stream in the list. So this is fairly new where they've now put Stream inside of the Microsoft 365 environment. Earlier, it would take you to a different version, all that. So we don't want to explain that, but here it is. New recording. And we're gonna, if it, let me turn my camera off here. It would allow me to pick it up, retry camera.
And it might just be me, Stephen,
There
but
we go.
I don't see your screen.
Oh, you don't see my
Yes,
screen?
I do. I do. I do.
Okay,
See,
Now
all
I
right,
see,
do.
see,
awesome.
see, like I said, it's probably me.
So here I'm talking to you now, and my camera is using my camera. It will use my microphone. I can record my screen if I want to. Here we go. Do a quick screen recording. So it's asking me, well, what screen do I want to record? Let me say I want to record the meeting. So I can record the meeting. Here it is. I can show you some things. Blah, blah, blah. I can move and do whatever I need to do. You see, is that when I stop recording, I just click stop recording. I can edit back and forth. So you can go all the, I can add in background music. I can publish it. Once I publish it, it gives me a transcript. So I'm going to say, go to my OneDrive and it saves all of your streams like this. So if you go into the application, it goes into OneDrive. So here was our last Microsoft session that we done. So you can see me bring it up and I'm going to click play, but I'm going to mute it. And so say like we go right here, and if we said the transcript, here it is, it would also list my transcripts generate. So after that video is done, you would then need to generate a transcript. So as your students are watching the video, all they have to do is turn on transcript and then they can see the real-time transcript open over here to the side. What is coming down the pike is something similar to Edpuzzle, where you can put little dots on it and you can ask a form question. As long as the question is in Microsoft Forms, you can ask it from that angle. So I'm going to close it out because it seems like it's acting weird on me now. And we're going to go toss it back to Amy for the math portion of it.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
Okay, let's try. Okay, let's try to share. Okay, so I'm going to show you just a little bit about the math solver, maybe. Might have to get Stephen to do this for me. A little bit about it. We're going to see if it's going to share my screen. I don't think it's going to. Oh, is it doing now?
I see Steven's screen, I think.
Yep,
Unless
Mr.
that's you.
Stephen, you may have to share about math solver because my computer is not participating right now.
it won't act right for you right now.
No, not at
It's
all.
being temperamental.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can go ahead and show that. Yes, ma'am. I surely can. I surely can and surely will. Okay, so with Math Solver, it's online, or I think it's math.microsoft.com. There it goes. So Math Solver, as you can see, and I'm going to zoom in because sometimes people tell me when I do share my screen on the web, it's small, but you can go to the website, okay, here, or math.microsoft.com, or you can install this on your mobile devices, on your phones and your tablets. So Apple device, Android device, boom, there you go. You can get it. My daughter's an eighth grader and she come, Dad, I don't know how to do them. And I said, well, look, go open up the Math Solver app. You can even scan it. You can use the camera on your phone to scan a math problem and it will solve it for you. Guys, this is what I was missing when I was in undergrad and college. I really wish I had this. I would have been great at it. And then when I get out, I start teaching kids math, right? So you see, it goes everything from basic math. So I know it starts with pre-algebra, but basic math, elementary math, pre-algebra, algebra, trigonometry, calculus. Um, I can put in a math problem right
That's
here.
amazing. Hey,
Yeah, let
Steven, we had
uh
the back of the book. We had the even numbers in the back of the book.
right. The answers, but you have to solve the odd ones, right? I mean, come on, right? But let's just say I do this quadratic equation, or if we have elementary teachers who are on the line and you want to just know that this works for elementary students, I'm just going to type it in and say 4 plus 4, solve. I know it's very easy, simple, right? So it tells me evaluate. So the solution is 8. Told me, hey, it equals 8. And it will walk me through. It tells me the factor, gives me the arithmetic, it gives me videos to go along with it. But you may say, well, wait a minute, that's just giving them the answer. But watch this. It also solves it for them step by step to show them add 4 and 4 to get 8. Also, immersive reader, what we talked about earlier, it will read it to them. Okay. Any questions on that?
That's so much
Concerns?
better than back of the book. So
I'm
much
gonna go
better.
and then up here to the top, let's say practice. So let's say I go to this equation that I have and they need to practice. So then in practice right off, they used to create a form, but then in practice, it's telling me, okay, student will go off to the side, go do their practicing, and then, because you may see how you get, let me go to Math Solver back to the main website, math.microsoft.com, and they can use their keyboard here to type in that, like this is the math solver keyboard, but I'm going to pull in this quadratic equation here and it solved it. But I'm going to say give me some practice, and I want to practice on that. Maybe it's a linear equation. Ready for a quiz? Click start. So let me say that this is the answer. I don't know, I hadn't done it yet. Check. Ooh, right off. Wow, wonderful. No, we're not gonna say I'm gonna get the rest of it right. But I know it's 5 o'clock. Let's see. I'm just gonna pick this down here. But if I need help, it says help me. Ooh, look at that. It's helping me solve the problem. Okay. So let's just say I say that's the right answer. Oh, check wrong and say nope, that's it right there. All right. So I can show you the rest, but boom, there it is. How would you use this for best practice in school? Students will use critical think at this point, won't they? And you're right. But I would say it's more so as a tutoring mechanism, a learning. Like this is a learning tool that we put this on our learning tools, and also immersive reader is there. So if they get kind of stuck on a problem, I would say help train your students, not so much as looking for the answer, but how did they actually come up with the answer? Speaking from an educator's point of view, I would drive them to see how would they come up with the answer, because when you do have your classroom test, you can do it on paper and pencil and say, hey, you can't use any notes. So they have to know how to use it. So I would say use it maybe as a tutoring or a guide when they need help. And you can really gauge and see if they learn it. But know this tool is there for them. And yeah, it's great for parents. Absolutely. Because when I'm here and she's like bringing me this crazy, and we say new math, uh
Exactly, I
I'm
remember
like,
hearing
what?
that.
Right? But you can see, it's giving them every which way. Solve using factoring. Just go straight down and tell it to them if they need it on a graphing calculator. I mean, it's there, and then they can just quiz themselves on it. It automatically generates a quiz for them to have more practice. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for joining us today. You will get 1 hour of PD credit for joining us. We did say last time that we would email it out. Just we've been running crazy since the start of the new year, actually, and we're getting ready to go to conferences. So please, by tomorrow, know that you will be receiving an email for your certificate. And we are working on more sessions coming up in February, 2 times a month, up until April, and then we'll reevaluate where we are to start up. I believe we're starting up again in September, October, after the new school year started. So be looking out for an email. You showing up today has indicated to us, to me, that you value what we're doing. And I just want to if you can just leave this right here. How do you feel about literacy and learning? From 1 to 4, put your best number in the chat. Put your best number in the chat. And we will be at FETC and TCEA this week. Well, in the weeks coming.
Next
Oh,
week.
Melissa gave me a 4. Bethany gave a 4. All fours. Thank you so much. And if you don't know about these monsters, these are the Philly Feel monsters from Microsoft. If you would like to have a template such as this, we can also email that to you as well. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to give us feedback, you can go to fry.tech. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And say, yes, please. I'll include the filling monsters in that email that we send.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you
All
now,
right.
Amy.
Yeah, I was going to say it instead of typing it. Brittany, we're going to have a booth and a room. I don't know the room number
I
by
think it's
heart.
206 AB.
The booth number
No, I don't know the booth number.
is 2619, right by
Just
Wakelet.
and Wakelet are our friends, so we'll have an
Yes.
exciting time in that area. They're probably going to kick us out. All right. Thank you so much for joining. You will get your email and your love monsters tomorrow and your certificate for 1 hour of PD. Thank you for tuning in to Fried Live. You have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.